They were the smart one, the responsible one, the talented one, the child who never caused problems. They were praised for their achievements, admired for their discipline, rewarded for their performance. But here's the hidden question. What happens when the golden child grows up and finally fails? What happens when the identity built on perfection cracks? Today, we explore the psychology of the golden child who never learned how to fail honestly, and the invisible cost of always being the good one. In family psychology, the golden child is often the child idealized by parents. They are high-achieving, obedient, responsible, emotionally contained. Their role is not accidental. They unconsciously carry the family's expectations, dreams, and unfulfilled ambitions. And in return, they receive approval. But often, that approval is conditional. It is tied to performance, not personhood. When a child receives attention primarily for success, they internalize a powerful belief. I am loved when I succeed. Failure becomes more than a mistake. It becomes a threat to belonging. Over time, the golden child doesn't just fear failure, they fear exposure, exposure of imperfection, exposure of weakness, exposure of humanity. Healthy failure teaches resilience. But golden children often learn to avoid failure at all costs. They may overprepare obsessively, avoid risks, abandon projects they might not excel at, hide struggles. Because failing publicly feels like identity collapse. Their self-worth is fused with achievement. So instead of saying, I failed, they unconsciously think, I am a failure. Perfectionism in the golden child is not vanity. It's survival. If praise equals safety, then imperfection equals emotional danger. This creates high-functioning anxiety. Outwardly composed, internally pressured. They may appear confident, but internally, they live with constant self-monitoring. Don't disappoint. Don't fall behind. Don't lose your status. Golden children are often rewarded for being emotionally stable. They don't complain. They don't create chaos. They manage themselves early, but emotional suppression has consequences. They may struggle later with vulnerability, asking for help, admitting confusion, accepting mediocrity, because weakness was never modeled as acceptable. In adulthood, something eventually happens. A career setback, a breakup, burnout, comparison with equally talented peers, and suddenly, excellence is not guaranteed. This is where many golden children experience identity crisis. If I am not the best, who am I? Without performance, their internal structure feels unstable. There's another layer rarely discussed: resentment. Golden children may unconsciously resent the role they played. They were responsible too early, mature too early, expected to hold it together, but they were still children. The pressure was subtle, but constant. Healing begins when the golden child learns something radical. Failure does not remove worth. It reveals humanity. Failing honestly means admitting mistakes without self-collapse, trying without guaranteed excellence, allowing imperfection to exist. It means separating identity from outcome. I failed at this is different from I am a failure. That distinction changes everything. The golden child was never weak. They were adaptive. They survived by performing. But true growth begins when performance is no longer required for love. You are not your achievements. You are not your reputation. You are not your role. And the moment you learn to fail honestly, you finally become free.